No. I'm gonna take it back to the high school days and wear my hat backwards. What's up, team? Nsima the Centaur Inyang here. I'm gonna try and make this a bite-sized video. As you can see from the title, it's something about hook grip. But how did I get into hook grip? I started using it around 2012. I believe I saw Wayne Norton do a deadlift at 700 and something pounds, and I just wanted to be able to do that. So the number one reason why I started doing hook grip after I saw that was because I knew that every time that someone was using a mixed grip and there was a bicep tear involved, it was always a supinated hand, because all this force was going through here, and if someone has tight biceps like myself, there is risk that that's going to happen with maximal weight. The second reason I started using the hook grip was because I didn't want to have uneven muscle development. Usually when you're deadlifting with a pronated and a supinated hand, or a supinated and pronated hand, this lat usually is the one that's going to get less development than the one that's pronated. I didn't want that to happen. I wanted to develop evenly, so I wanted to learn how to hook grip because of that. So most recently, you guys know, you saw the Reebok Record Breakers footage. I was able to deadlift 755 pounds using the hook grip. Now, let's rewind. Let's talk about how you're going to start implementing this. The things that you're going to need to be able to use a good hook grip is, first off, big enough hands. Now, if you have tiny hands, you can't.
This one, look at those hands. Are they small hands?
Wrap your hands or your four fingers around your thumb around the bar. You're not going to be able to hook grip, which kind of sucks. I'm very sorry, but you're going to have to resort to the mixed grip. Number two, and this is the biggest thing, this is the most annoying thing, is you're going to need patience to deal with the pain and to deal with the fact that whatever your max is and whatever the weight that you usually work with is going to be drastically lower when you're starting to use the hook grip. So you're going to need to be patient to be able to work through the pain for a few months and have less ego to use less weight when deadlifting with the hook. It's frustrating, I know, but you're going to need to be able to develop these calluses. Now I have calluses on my thumbs. I don't feel any pain when I do the hook grip, and it's great. So for myself, when I started hook gripping, it took me about 4 months until the pain totally went away. I mean, I was feeling ridiculous pain. Some days I almost wanted to shed tears and cry, but I didn't, obviously. Actually, I probably did. But it took me a while to deal with the pain, okay? Now, let me give you guys an example. Even though the big idea here, just so you know, is to be able to just work with lighter weight than you would so that you can hook grip successfully for a set. But let's give you an example of a typical individual. Let's say a guy or a woman has a deadlift max of 500 pounds. So let's say on a certain day during the week, their training max or their training volume would be 3 by 3, 3 sets of 3 at 450 pounds. Now, that individual will do 3 by 3 at 450, so they don't exhaust their grip strength. And then maybe they'd go down to 3 by 6 at 315 pounds with the hook grip. Solo, yes, but that's probably going to be the weight that you're going to have to work with the hook grip while moving upwards. The hook grip initially is going to be treated as an accessory movement after your working sets. And another good idea is even though on that certain day you're going to hook grip afterwards, after your working sets, it might be a good idea to set another day dedicated to the hook grip and maybe do 5 sets of 6 or 5 sets of 7, saying that maybe your training max is 500 pounds with 320 pounds. So you can, over time, be able to develop the work capacity with your hook grip and to be able to develop the calluses. Now, like I mentioned, it's gonna be extremely painful. You're gonna have to be able to work through the pain, but don't be stupid. If like you feel on a certain day your thumbs are going raw, right? If your thumbs are going raw and maybe you see some skin peeling, stop. It's not a smart thing to do. Give yourself the time to get used to it. And typically the way you probably just advance the hook grip is week by week, increase by 5 to 10 pounds. If you're someone who's able to get used to it a lot faster, you might increase by 15 pounds on a certain week. But the big deal here is just to increase work capacity using the hook grip, be able to be patient enough to work with weights lower than you typically work with, and also be able to work through the pain on certain days and certain weeks, because it will take you a while. But the benefit is nowadays for me at least, I have ridiculous grip strength. The bar is never gonna drop out of my hands. And even when I do a typical double overhand grip, I can still deadlift a shit ton of weight with a double overhand grip because my grip has been able to develop over the years utilizing the hook grip. So again, recap. Good idea to do. Working sets, use straps as to not exhaust your grip. Use the hook grip as an accessory movement. And then on other days during the week, use the hook grip as a main movement using very light weight compared to your 1 rep max and compared to weight you'd usually utilize. This is Nsima the Centaur Inyang from Break the Bar. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And other than that, I will talk to all of you very, very soon. Peace. sets are sick.